everyone, welcome back. This is Shah&Co. Today we're going to discuss about a company called AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. As you can see, this particular stock is not doing very good. It is showing some sort of weaknesses. And some of you may already seen that there is actually a kind of support that this particular stock is sustaining. It's doing wonderfully at this particular line. Several attempts has been done and it's still not going down from that line. And another thing you must notice that this particular stock also, AMD, is behaving to have a triangle, descending triangle. Okay, this is called descending triangle. So some of you may know this pattern, descending triangle, and you know, those of you who learn about chart pattern analysis, that it is quite dangerous if the stock goes below this particular line. Okay, so this particular line that you have there is quite dangerous because if stock goes below that, that signals a downturn, right? But today I'm going to highlight to you another signal that is inside this particular chart that may potentially sound risky for your money. So if you want to know what is that risk that is inside this chart, which this particular chart descending triangle doesn't show yet, stay tuned and watch this full video. This is Shah&Co. Please like, share and subscribe, and also click the notify button. We're going to start very soon. Guys, now we are back. We're going to analyze this particular stock in a bit more detailed manner. Okay, we will first try to observe the overall trend. How is it going? So that is the first thing you must do to understand the whole chart. Okay, so now I'm going to analyze this. It's very evident in this chart that it is in an uptrend for a very long time. It has been doing a very uptrend pattern. So now I'm gonna do some plotting. So you see, I'm trying to take from the low to the high. I'm just starting somewhere in the middle because we don't really need to trace back for a very long period. Okay, so this is sufficient. So then it's making a low, and then from here it's making a high all the way there. It's a very huge jump. Okay, then we can see that it is actually dropping from there to here. This is the first low that we can see. So we will take that first low, though there are several other lows that we have here. So we'll take that first low. That's the low. Okay, so then from here it moves to the highest point here. Okay, since then it is actually going downward, and still the trend hasn't stopped yet. It's still on that downward pattern. Okay, so I will not draw yet the pattern because we don't know where it's going to stop. Okay, now based on this particular trend or pattern, let's try to see the strength that is inside this particular chart. Okay, in this uptrend, in other words. Okay, so we need a ruler to measure that. So I'm going to measure from this. I just need the two recent up moves. So this particular up move is giving us $56, and the next up move is giving us about $24. Okay, so what does it tell us? From $60 to $24. That means this particular move is actually a strong move followed by a weaker move. So that itself tells us that it is a weakening. Okay, it's a weakening in the market. We can further confirm it. We can further confirm it by doing a Fibonacci retracement. So we'll do a final retracement from there to here. I'll enable my Fibonacci levels. Okay, so you can see now the Fibonacci levels. Now you can see during the first run up here, it retraces almost to 38%. Almost. It hasn't reached, maybe around 35. Okay, but the second round retracement, the second round retracement, all the way from this low up to high, went all the way to high, and you see it went all the way up, then it's down all the way back to zero. It retraces 100%. Okay, it retraces 100%. Alright. Okay, so if you can't read clearly, I'll just remove the previous Fibonacci. Now you can see it goes back up, then retraces down back to level 1, which means 100%. So now, so we can say that the Fibonacci level is also increasing from 38% or 35% something just now in this first round retracement to 100% level of retracement. So that means the retracement, the downfall, the sellers are getting stronger. So in the first round, the sellers managed to sell like 35%, but the second round, the sellers from the top, they managed to sell 100%. So the sellers won, almost won the buyers. Okay. So that again further confirms that this particular AMD stock is actually in a weak, very weak level. In fact, if it managed to cross below 50%, this retracement, if it managed to cross below 50%, that is a sufficient signal that the momentum in this particular stock has gone down and it is not having that kind of strength anymore. Okay, so we have double confirmation, the strength is weakening, even the retracement is kind of weakening itself, showing a weakening sign. So overall, this particular AMD is actually weakening. Okay, so this is a confirmation. Okay, now I'm gonna explain to you some of the hidden patterns that we have in this chart that you must know. Okay, the first conclusion we made so far is that this particular AMD stock is in a weakening mode. So that's a very important conclusion. So this is a precursor to our other analysis. So I need to stress this part. It may look simple to some of you, but it's very important to know this matter first. Okay, the next thing. Now I'll try to erase off all the signs on the chart. Okay, now I'll do a fresh. So now, as I mentioned in the introduction, we have a very good support here, right? And then interestingly, it forms a triangle, and this triangle is what is known as descending triangle. And descending triangle is not a good sign in the first place. When it is a uptrending market or stock, when you have a descending triangle, it's not really a good sign. It's actually a weakening sign itself. And that further confirms our previous conclusion on the what we call the strength analysis. So this is another confirmation. And some of you, knowing this particular descending triangle, will say, okay, my risk, you may have actually put your stop loss or somewhere around here, around this particular region. So you may think that, okay, if this particular stock goes beyond this particular what you call the horizontal line, this particular horizontal line, then is I got to really go out. So you may have specified your stop loss here around this region, right? Some of you may have already done that, right? Because you want to protect your money. So you will actually trade with a stop loss. And this is actually some sort of right place for you to put stop loss. But wait a minute, I'm going to show you another hidden trend in this chart that will surprise you. Okay, so now this is in a day time frame. Let me bring you to a monthly time frame. So if you bring to monthly time frame, I'll try to enlarge it. Okay, this is the monthly chart, enlarged monthly chart. Now if I were to draw a trend line, okay, so I can draw many trend line, but the closest right now is from this to that and touching. So you see this particular trend line that I'm drawing right now is quite strong because it touches, you can wait, let me adjust this particular point. So the more points it touches, right, the stronger the trend line is. Okay, somewhat it is precise now. if you notice, I'm crossing about 3 touches. Number 1 here, number 2 here, number 3 here, and right now we're having number 4 around here. So let me remove other signs that we have here on the chart so that we can see clearly. Okay, now you see we are at a decision level. This particular cross here is very important because on the long term perspective, because this is a monthly chart, if this particular price goes below this particular trend line, that means the stock is going to fall very deep, very low. Okay, so it may even fall. I can even project that it may fall up to here, to this much. This could be the support because this is a long this is what you call head of gangster. It is very long, right? So this particular low level here, the low of that body could be the good support point. Okay, so if you manage to cross there, it may go all the way to here. It may go all the way trying to touch this particular point. That means there's a heavy loss waiting for you. So don't only look at the descending triangle. Descending triangle, if I zoom much more, if I try to zoom more, you can see this particular descending triangle still has a bit of room it can navigate. So let me give a different color for it. So this yellow color is how much it can still go down before it crosses that particular horizontal line, right? The base here. But for this particular trend line, it is already touching it. Few more price moves is going to go beyond that particular trend line, the long-term trend line, and that itself already signal a bad thing, right? And the price may go down all the way touching at this particular support level at here. So I'm telling this because I want you to be a bit more cautious while trading this particular stock. And some of you may think that it's also another sign. See, this is very tricky. You know why it's very tricky? Because this is a descending triangle. Descending triangle, I need to adjust. Give me a minute. I need to adjust. Okay, so now I need to adjust this particular descending triangle. This particular. Okay, so the trick part here. Okay, so right now all the points here touching at the top here. So the other tricky part is if the price managed to go beyond this, okay, this particular level. Okay, so if it managed to break out from here, that's a good sign. So now it's actually in a decision point. If you go up, then it's a good sign because that means it already break the trend line, the descending triangle trend line, and that's super good news. So the price will go further up a lot. Okay, but if you do a downward breakout, that is disastrous. And I would suggest that you just keep yourself at the side. Don't trade in this stock. Get a clearer picture, then you move in. Okay, so if you're about to do your trading, because there's risk waiting for it, there's also a reward waiting for it. So my best advice would be, it's up to you, is for you to stay sideline. Do not do any trade. Just watch for a few more moves, whether it does a breakout on the top going upward, or it does a breakout to a downward. Okay, so I hope this particular video have enlightened you a bit more on the risk and reward that is in this particular stock AMD, and I hope you have learned something from this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Do not forget, because I'm going to post a lot more videos, and also click that notify button so that you get always notified whenever my video is up. And also do share with your friends, get everyone learn these techniques, and also don't get trapped with your investment. I wish you good luck in your investment, and also hope you make a lot of money. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye bye.